Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you saw in a previous episode, I re-sleeved the engine harness and it came out looking really nice. So I decided, well, I can't have one harness looking good and the other one not so much. So in this episode, I'm going to be re-sleeving the body harness, the parts that are in the engine bay. I'm also going to be running some extra wire to support things like I have a 5-wire taillight harness thing for pulling a detachable, or for pulling a trailer. I have a Toys R Us detachable trailer hitch. So I pull a 4-foot like autocross tire trailer with the car when I take it to autocross events. So I want to have wiring for that kind of neatly tucked away. I'm going to be running wires for a backup camera, a few other sort of kind of things while the engine's out. I might as well like make use of the ability to get into that space and really do things so that it looks like it was kind of always meant to be there. I'm not like doing wire tucking or anything like that. It's just much cleaner wiring harness. So that said, let's get to it. Now that the engine bay is painted, it's time to put some stuff back in. If you kind of look at if you look at a graph of this whole build, it kind of goes up to the engine bay being at the point or the top of the bell curve, and then we're on the way back down now. It's kind of the very long home stretch. The reason it took so long to get to here is engine bay painting took an entire 2 days. Most of it, almost all of it, was prep work and tear down. It was a lot of work. However, this is the only time I'd be able to do it, so that's when I did it. You can see it looks pretty decent. Could have been a lot better, could have been worse. So the good news is it's the engine bay, and all this area that I spent most of my time on, foolishly, is the area that nobody will ever see. Absolutely nobody is going to be seeing this. They'll be seeing up here and some of these other spots, but not that, where I mostly did a lot of focus, so yay for me. As I was starting to put some of the stuff back, which I didn't film I didn't film the painting or some of the other stuff. Like I noticed that the body harness was looking not so great, so I re-sleeved the body harness so it matches the engine harness, and now it looks a lot better. This is for the third brake light. I just have it all kind of hanging out over here for now. I'm gonna start putting pieces, getting the clips back on, putting them back together. I drilled, put some riv nuts here that holds. It's gonna hold a custom holder for a 5-wire taillight converter for hooking up a trailer. I do have a detachable trailer hitch to pull an autocross trailer behind this car. That was something I designed and printed in PETG. It holds it very easily, kind of snaps in place, easy to get to. So a couple of holes, riv nutted here for the screws to hold it in. I'll probably show that a lot more when it's time to put that on. That'll go on once I have the rear bumper, aka crash bar, whatever, back here. So today is going to be mostly re-sleeving this harness because it's still the original one. I use a lot of aluminum foil. This is based on a tip from some other YouTuber when they were painting stuff. It's a great idea, by the way. It's a quick way to cover everything because you just don't want paint to get on it. And I'm gonna start basically just putting things back in. Oh, one thing that I will say, when you're re-sleeving
your harnesses. Take lots of pictures before, so you know where each of these clips belong. Also, might help to get one of these little like fabric tape measure deals, just so you can see like actual distance-wise on the pictures where they go. I did not do that on this one, so luckily there's only a few clips over here. It'll be easy to figure out. This one has a lot more. I'd rather kind of have that right the first time than try to redo it. I kind of got started, but figured I'd show part of my process here. These are the your license plate lights, are just the ones that go on. They connect to right here, roughly. Anyway, we're gonna re-sleeve these. Some of it, the sleeving was already deteriorated. I did measure where this guy goes, so that way it'll go in the same spot as later, but I'm gonna start with putting some of the loom on here, and then I'm just gonna work my way up to a section and then start at the other lowest section, work my way up, keep going that way, and then I'll have the collector, like all of those, that section will go up, and then basically the process will repeat. Let's go ahead and first get started with measuring out how much we need. Little quick cut. Singe the ends. You know, usual, like it's a nylon or whatever the stuff's made out of. It's meant for engine bays, but you don't want the ends to be too frayed. And it is split loom, like I'm not taking every connector off and then like re-sleeving it, like, you know, to make it look ridiculously good. That would just be way too much time and effort for this. Stuff curls up. This isn't that easy to do with gloves on, but this stuff is 20 something years old. It's been in here for quite a while. It's kind of nasty. There you go. You get it where it's mostly covered. Then you get out your Tessa tape, which I got like a multi-pack. Got a multi-pack of this on Amazon. Link in the description. Basically, just I like to go with the way it's folded, so that way it kind of tightens it up a little more. I don't know if you can see that. There's going to be the same thing. These ones up top aren't as important because the other loom is going to come down to about here and then be taped, and then these will come off of that. As you can see, this is not a difficult process. It's just very tedious. It is important to still take your time though, so it, you know, comes out decent. Like, it's easy to like kind of just do an okay job, and then you'll go back and look at it and be like, yeah, I probably should have spent a few more seconds taping that one up, but So one thing I like to do, where I know there's going to be, where these things need to stay connected, is just kind of tape at the junction. Ta-da. So, looks like might use the same size. Oh, by the way, I have 3 sizes. This is like the medium. I forgot there's like their actual size. This is like the super thick stuff for when I get further up there. This would be way too big. So basically a longer piece of this will go over these. It'll be over them and then kind of all the way up to here. That's pretty much it. Let me give you a little rundown of the setup. This is what I'm collecting all of the clips in. I'm going to make sure I clean them all because, I don't know, that's just me. I get OCD-ish sometimes. Got little cheapy like clips to clip if they're like zip tied on. Scissors, 2 different kinds for some reason, for cutting the loom. Little barbecue lighter for melting the ends so they don't fray. This is my discard bucket, which is where all this stuff's gonna go. And some of Gary Dean's Tiger's Blood cleaner. This stuff's great. Just works on, it's like an all-purpose cleaner. Works on just about everything. That's pretty much it. I'm not gonna like bore you with, you know, even yet still more of this, because most of it's just gonna be me undoing a lot. Probably cleaning. And when I go to re-sleeve more of it, I'm most likely going to take the gloves off. Even though the gloves do make you look way more professional, sometimes they just sort of get in the way. Like there's a precise tactile feeling that you lose with the gloves. And you kind of need that for, you know, delicate work like this. Yeah. Oh, these little zip tie. One more thing. One other tool to have is a tiny flathead. These clips that are zip tied, you can get these off by just wedging in between and then pushing the, you got to see which side has the teeth on it, and get their screwdriver up in between it and then push it back. If it looks difficult, that's because it is, up until you like get it. That sounded promising. Yeah, we're almost there. And just like that. And it's still intact, so this can be reused when we go to put everything back in place. You know, you can always buy new ones of these, but finding ones that are going to have the right size of this and everything else may not be super easy. Like if for some reason it gets like heat damaged, or it's just so bad that you don't want to reuse it, then, you know, just obviously cut it off. But just wanted you to know you can actually undo the zipped part. This ground cable, or ground strap, whatever you want to call it, these usually aren't sleeved. I sleeved the one on this side. I'm gonna put a sleeve on this one too, just because why not? It's not gonna hurt anything, and it'll make it look nicer in my opinion, so why not, right? It's gonna be there and it'll be all like, ooh, look at how cool sleeve. Look at how nicely sleeved that is. That's what everybody's gonna be saying if they actually can see this once it's in the car. But I'll know it's there, and you'll know it's there. And in the end, isn't that all that really matters?
So you can see, here's Fuse box going up there. That's got some powder on it. There's a lot of just dry pigment from the paint process. It's laying around in a few places. I just need to wipe it down a little more. Nothing is actually screwed in. This is for the battery terminal. Going through ABS sensor, roughly where that goes. These guys, for the lights, this is for the tail light. So, wiring harness is now complete. You can maybe tell on the firewall that there's an additional hole there. It's a very rough cut hole, took forever to get out, but the grommet does fit in that. I'm going to be running the other various lines through that grommet instead of puncturing holes in the other one. That's going to run power, sensor cables, vacuum. That's pretty much it. The other wiring.
We're gonna get started with the these grounding locations. I was careful to plug these screw holes with those foam earplugs. Forgot where I saw that tip from, but that prevented any of the like paint from covering up the threads. It's especially important on grounding straps. Ow! I took some pictures of this in here, but I got some of the HPS hoses just attached to the coolant reservoir. I have most of my wiring already in place and clipped, except for this, because I was missing. This is gonna go kind of up and over and lead back over to this nest over here, which has some other clips. This gets connected to the taillight assembly, and that's all for the trailer hitch connection. So what I'm gonna do now is just get this all clicked in. Got some cool little push in, and then the other end's a zip tie. There. These are really hard to find where this is wide enough. These came in a kit, but the rest of the things in the kit that had like just pull over clamps that had circles and everything, none of them fit. They didn't fit these holes. They said they did, but didn't. These work, so hopefully I only need a few of them. So basically bought an entire kit for just a few of those because you can't really find just those. And if you can, I have no idea what to look for. So I don't know, by the time this is uploaded and you're watching it, I'll probably be done with this project. But we'll see. I might still have needs for those. So if somebody knows how to like really find ones that are wide at where they click in, like for the diameter of the hole, and or a zip tie or the clamp kind, let me know in the comments, please.
And here's the finished product. You've got the oil cooler and the lines in. You've got the harness all clipped in. There's the meth water line, the red one going to the grommet, and the rest of the harness going towards the rear. As you can see, that came out pretty nice. All of the stuff seemed to line up pretty well. I left like a little bit of slack here and there for where, like, you know, connecting, disconnecting, when I'm installing things. You need to have some slack, but it's manageable. You don't want too much slack, but just enough. And if there is too much, I'll end up just securing it to either to itself or to somewhere else so it's not moving around. All in all, this was one of the simpler projects or sub-projects on this project. So I think it's, you know, for a little bit of effort, if you're able to kind of get to it, it comes out looking really nice. And that'll do it for this episode. As usual, be sure to like and subscribe, ring the bell, get the notifications, and check out the comment. Check out the description. Also, leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think has been good so far or good in this video. And yeah, thanks for watching.